And that's just how we do. Hold your head up high, and I'm right here with you, 'cause we are winners tonight. And that's just how we do.
Uploading and filming and uploading and editing and filming and uploading. And I'm just like, is this doing anything? My analytics are saying that my views and impressions are going up, so it must be something's happening. It's so like tiny little steps that I can't actually tell if anything is actually happening or not. I guess this is why you just have to keep uploading, and I guess it's the compound effect, isn't it? Like compound effect, like you start off like this and then you start scout like that. I mean, I'm just gonna keep doing it. I just thought, I'm always filming horizontal because I'm going into YouTube for long form content, but these little snippets that I do, instead of like editing them together, unless there's like a theme, like my fitness thing or my video diaries, which is kind of what this is actually. This is just like a little separate thing, in which case this could probably go vertical and just go straight up as a short. Possibly. I don't know if it would be interesting enough as a short. There's certainly no hook or anything along those lines. But maybe I'll experiment with that actually, because it would be good to mix up my shorts. At the moment it's all just like podcasty, pre-planned stuff. I've had a bit of like impromptu, like, this is what I'm thinking and feeling right now, let's just stick that up. A little bit of impulsive videos. I mean, why not? Anyway, as I was saying, I do kind of sit here and think, like, is it doing anything? Is this making any difference? Am I achieving anything right now? Because it's moving so like, but what I am noticing is that I'm evolving as I do it. So the more I'm doing this one particular thing, the more it evolves and shapes into something a little bit more clearer, and I get more information. So yeah, I think this is just what it's like for the start of it. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, just gonna get to it. Ta-da! My day this morning has been unexpected, and there's been lots of different things that I've had to do which I haven't quite been banking on, which have taken me in a different direction, and figuring out how to adapt to it all. So yay! When this happened, it is super duper important to remember or to know what is it that is the most important thing for you to achieve in the day. Now I've got all these little bitty bits that I need to do, and then also some of these bigger tasks. Trying to figure out what is the priority in that is not my forte. So my plan to combat it will be, actually I do know what is the most important. My gran and my mum need my help, so that is going to be my priority. That is what I'm going to do first, and then it's going to go on to podcast stuff and editing stuff. I'm glad that I can be here to support them and help, because you know what, that's what family is. So I then have to try and figure out how to start to wake up earlier. I'm still not getting up as early as I'd like to. I'm still stuck in my night owl phase. So that's going to help me, I believe, get more work done to start with. So this is just a quick check-in, a quick rant, practice, camera, speaking, record. I feel like every single second of my time needs to be filled up with doing something productive. And that's not because I'm like well, actually I probably am a bit addicted to the grind, but that isn't why. The reason why is because I really want this. I really want this. So I just want to do as much as I can to try and get myself there as quickly as possible. I know it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, But I feel like I've wasted so much time already and I need to make up for lost time. I listened to a really good call yesterday actually, which was showing me how to utilise a lot of automated systems, and this is really what I need to do. I really need automated systems. At the moment I'm just doing everything myself and I'm just trying to squeeze all this stuff into this small capacity, and it's disheartening, to be quite honest. That's where the time needs to be spent, in the bigger picture, trying to grow those systems so that I can fit more into a day. Okay, well that was quite easy to figure out what my priorities were. In which case, food and eating would quite be up there. I did a little bit of food prep. I have got a lot of fruit that I need to cut up. I've got some main meals that I need to secure, and then I've got some sweet treats as well that I need to create. Once I have done that, then I think I will be up to date. Anyway, ta-ta for now. So I had a slight bit of a breakthrough. The last few days I was feeling very, very low. What's new, eh? And I am now taking the steps to come out the other side. It's always a slow start again. And I've actually reached out to get some help, to speak to somebody. You know, it didn't even seem like, it's not that it didn't seem like it was needed, but it just wasn't even there. It was almost like that part of my mind, or that thought, had been removed from my brain completely. So when everything's happening and you're zoomed in into the whirlwind of everything, it just doesn't even exist. How did I get to the point of coming to that conclusion? Excuse my panda eyes, by the way. Well, what I did was, in those moments of overwhelm, I almost kind of like split myself in two to look at myself in a logical third person place so that I could better assist. Then it was grounding and writing down a plan, basically. And after that, in my zoomed out state, I looked at what I was doing and I was like, oh, okay, if this was somebody else experiencing this and feeling this, I would definitely be trying to assist. The advice that I would be giving would be, go and get some help. Like, there's people out there to support you and help you. That thought never, it's not that it didn't occur to me. I know it exists as a, I was going to say concept. I know it exists. I do know it exists. I'm just, how can I explain this? It's like, I'm going to come up with a, alright, blanking now, completely spacing now. I'm going to click pause and I'm going to come back to this little video diary. Okay, so the metaphor that I thought of was, I know it exists. I know that support exists, but I wouldn't go to it. I wouldn't go and get a prostate exam because I am not a man. The support was there. I know it's there, but it just didn't cross my mind that it could be for me. And don't get me wrong, I am definitely a woman and I like being a woman and I would never change to be a man. That was just my example. When I zoomed out and looked at everything that I was writing down, and it kind of made it all a little bit more real. So yeah, so I reached out, and actually the doctors got back to me very, very quickly. So that was really helpful. It was very nice. Then I've got to do some following up in regards to, they will be referring me to somebody, and a bit of research into how I can help aid the situation. What I am noticing though now is that where things are starting to click a little bit, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense, I know where I am again, I'm not lost, this is great, I tend to pull on that string a little bit too much.
Fatality.
And before I know it, I'm in like hyperdrive and nothing else matters, and everything else that is meant to go hand in hand with it is forgotten. And that's like my being present, not being glued to my phone, It's almost like the tunnel vision. I know what I'm trying to do. I know where I need to get to. So that becomes everything. I can't think of anything else. And especially when it starts clicking and I'm in the flow, nothing else exists until I get there. Which is, you know, a great skill. However, not so good when it's at the peril of my mental health or my sanity or my just ability to live life and be present in this place. It tends to, you know, overshadow with darkness in a little cave. So what I'm going to have to do now is walk on this tightrope and be aware of everything else around me. Take breaths, but keep allowing the click to happen, but not letting that click get to my head in a dopamine style fashion where I become a little gremlin. Because no one wants that, really. I am fasting in the mornings to try and give my mind some clarity, so thank you for that. You know, one thing that comes to mind when trying to reach out for help is this feeling of weakness. This feeling that I should be able to do this. Why can't I handle this? Other people can handle this. In fact, other people are out there doing all these incredible things. And I know comparison is not going to help in any situation here, but that is where my mind goes. Other people can do this. Why can't I do this? Why am I finding it so difficult? Why is it such a struggle? Actually, because I'm not talking to anyone, I can't actually hear their views, and actually other people struggle just the same, and all our feelings are valid just as much as each other's. This idea of codependency comes to mind a little bit. This need for me to be strong in myself, not wanting to burden anybody else with that. It does make me feel a little bit weak. Yaha! Okay. Ta-ta.